G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Garage Built. Fred here. Yeah, we've got our first sponsor for this week. Our first sponsor is Dominator Motorsports, but we will get to that to you in a second. We'll just give you a quick rundown of what we got to last week and what the plan is for this week. Last week we got the engine in, got the transmission in. The engine mounts are sorted, the transmission mount is sorted, we've got our tail shaft ordered. We've also got our manual rack, steering rack in. We got that all sorted. We removed the power steering rack and fitted our manual rack. It's all connected up and all ready to go. So that's the basis of the fabrication sorted for getting the engine, transmission in the car, the tail shaft sorted, etc. So the plan for this week is to get it all back out. Michael's going to rip into the engine bay. We're going to take out the last few little things. He's going to start degreasing and sanding and prepping the engine bay for paint. And I'm lucky enough, I'll get to start all the good stuff. I'll get to start stripping down the engine and installing all our performance parts. That does bring us to our sponsor, Dominator Motorsports. Michael down at Dominator has come on board. He's sponsoring this episode and sponsoring the build. He's hooked us up with a whole bunch of performance parts for the Barra engine that is sort of, I would say, essential if you're going to be putting some boost into the car for reliability. Michael has been nice enough to hook us up with a set of Dominator Motorsports valve springs for your high revving Barra. We've also got ourselves a set of upgraded 12mm Dominator Motorsports head studs with the upgraded washers. We've got Dominator Motorsports billet oil pump gears. We've also got the billet backing plate. Along with that, Michael was nice enough to gift me for my workshop a Barra valve spring removal and installation tool. Makes life so much easier. Set up for the Barra, 4 valve springs at a time. Awesome bit of gear. And we've got ourselves an atomic timing chain to hopefully, just for a bit of longevity, that I'm assuming got a few Ks on this engine, so the chain's probably stretched a little, so we're going to change the chain and hopefully that'll last us a long time. And we also have a Dominator Motorsports 4-layer MLS head gasket. Great for your high boost applications, which I'm trying to talk Michael into running in this car. So yeah, we've got our upgraded head gasket. Also acts as a little bit of a decon plate. I'm not too sure how much, but it is quite thick. It's 1.3 or 1.4 mil thick. And this comes along to go between your timing cover and your rocket cover gasket. So yeah, like I said, guys, I went down and met up with Michael. Great guy, great company, Australian based in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, awesome dude. Great business down there. Focuses on the Barra engine. He's got a lot of Barra performance parts on his shelves at the moment. He does have future plans for crankshafts and rods, etc, etc. But yeah, he's also a dealer for a lot of other companies, performance companies. So please hit Dominator up for all your parts and performance parts needs. We will leave a link in the description down below. Please hit the link, check him out, shoot Michael a message for anything you need, and I'm sure he'll be happy to help you out. So I'm excited. I'm keen to get in to start pulling this engine down. Michael can do the shitty bit and start cleaning the engine bay. I'll start doing all the fun stuff. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's do it, guys. Let's get cracking. Alright everyone, we've got the engine and transmission out of the car. I'm going to give Michael a hand for a little bit. We're going to get the headlights out, washer bottles, etc. The last few accessories. We're going to rip into degreasing. Obviously the car's been sitting or been around for 30 years plus. So there's a lot of junk under there. So we're going to rip into it now, get it all degreased and all ready to start sanding. And then I'll jump over to the engine. Let's do it. Might cut that first now. in the shop for another day. Got a bit sidetracked last time. We were meant to strip the engine down. Well, I was meant to strip the engine down. Michael was going to do the engine bay. We both ended up diving into the engine bay. So yeah, we're back in the shop, fresh day. Michael's on the bay. He's going to hopefully finish that today, but he's going to stay there on his own. I am on the engine. It's getting stripped down today, and we're going to start installing all the Dominator Motorsport parts. Once again, thanks to Dominator Motorsports for helping us out with all these parts. It's that simple. Let's get stuck into it. I'm tearing the engine down. Alright guys, just a quick update of where we're at. Got the engine sitting there. We have it basically stripped down. All the accessories are off the block. I was just about to take the crank pulley off and my pulley tool snapped. So we are going to shoot down to the parts shop and grab a new one of them right now. But to try and save some time, what we did was we quickly got the engine bay ready, sanded and all wiped down with wax and grease remover. And we've got 2 coats of primer on it. We're pretty happy with the way it's come up. It looks really good. Yeah, we're trying to save as much time. We're travelling all right. We've got plenty of time up our sleeve today. So we're going to let this dry now for an hour, shoot down to the parts shop, get our puller tool, get back here. Michael can start laying some colour and I can push on with the engine tear down. Perfect. See you soon. Alrighty guys, we've just got back from the parts shop. We've got to turn the camera on, so I'll just give you a quick rundown. We've just put the first coat of paint, as you've just seen on the engine bay. Looks incredible compared to what it was when we started. We're onto the Barra. We got back. I did get the front pulley off. I brought a 2/3 core puller for the front. I will say there is a proper tool for the Barra front pulley. Couldn't get it today, so I've used the other puller. Bit of a bitch, but it does work. If you sort of manipulate it around, I actually got it off. Before we got stuck into the engine, we've just put the first coat of gloss black on the engine bay, which is starting to look fantastic compared to what it looked like when we had the Tide 202 in there. All right, so now we're onto the Barra engine. We're stripping it down. I have already taken this rock cover off, but I've just set it back on. Just a quick tip, you've got the cam sensors here, or phases or sensors. Before you back off any bolts from the rocket cover, make sure you take out these 4 7mm bolts and just with a screwdriver, that seal just sits over, with a screwdriver just wedge it out and take these out. If you don't take these out, you will have because that's a metal ring, you will have an absolute bitch of a time getting the rocket cover off. So make sure you undo the 4 7mm, remove the seals, then loosen all the bolts and take the rocket cover off. And you'll see, just slides back a bit and off. So I'll put this over here. So the plan is now, I'm going to remove the whole front cover. I have got it on top dead, so I'll remove the whole front cover, remove the timing chain, etc. And then I'll take off all the cam caps, whatever you want to call these, doobalackies. Take these off, remove the cams, and once the head's ready to come off, I might actually flip it over, take the sump and everything off, and then flip it back to the right side up and get the head off. I'll stick these on time lapse and we'll go for it until I've got some further info. If you do want me, on these videos, if you do want me to go into a bit more detail when we get to this type of stuff, timing chains and cams, etc., drop a comment below and just let me know if that's something you'd like to see more of, and I'll slow the footage down and yeah, explain a bit more as I go. Cheers guys. Alrighty guys, we're at the point now where I'll be removing the timing chain. Probably the most daunting part of pulling an engine apart is setting up your chain or belt, etc. because so many things can go wrong. You can destroy your engine by not lining camshafts up with crankshafts, etc. A tip I've got for you guys, I've been doing this most of my life, but at the same time, I would say Google, more YouTube. YouTube, anything, you can find anything, and there's nothing wrong with double checking when it comes to stuff like this. I have been watching a few videos on YouTube just to keep the knowledge nice and fresh of pulling the Barra apart. I always do. But we've also ordered an atomic timing chain, new timing chain. Now, in the atomic timing chain, it was a couple $100. A worthy upgrade because it's so important. Also comes with the instructions. So, from what I've learnt on YouTube and via their instructions, you've got all your timing marks here. This will be your crank, your crank pulley marks, and these are your top cam marks. You can see very faintly there's two dots here on the cam pulleys. Now we'll have to rotate them until these two yellow marks here line up on them two dots, and the camshaft should line up also. Apparently this could take up to 36 revolutions to get it right, but I mean, you could mark stuff on here and do it without doing this. We've got time. I'm sure everyone's got the time. Do it right. Again, this is probably the most critical part of assembling an engine and getting all the timing right. All right, so yeah, I'll put you on time lapse because this could be 36 revolutions. I'll get most of it off. It's pretty straightforward. If you follow what I'm explaining to you here, and again, do your research, etc., you can't really go wrong. So I just wanted you guys to know that's probably the most important part. I'll put you back on time lapse and we'll get all this timing chain and stuff off. I'll probably get all the timing chain off, then I'll remove the sump, and then I'll touch base with you guys when we get up to taking the head off. Alrighty guys, I thought I'd just stop here. It took me probably somewhere in between 10 and 15 revolutions. But as you can see here, I've got the very faint dots on the cam gears lining up with the two links on the chain. Again, it only took me 15 revolutions. This is the best way to do it. Don't think you're smart enough to just mark stuff and blah, blah, blah. All right, if you've built 20 barras, 30 barras, 50 barras, you might find out a quicker way, but I just thought I'd show you guys the correct way to do it so you can't go wrong. Again, it's the most critical. Get this bit right and you're pretty much right. Alrighty, I'll get back to you shortly. Alrighty, so we're going to get the engine down tonight. We probably won't start assembly, but we will get it down tonight. We'll get all the parts clean, we'll get everything ready. I'm about to take the head off. I'm actually going to take the oil pump off. I'll drop that piston out so we get an answer to our question. And I may also change the oil pump gears. Dominator did supply us a set of upgraded oil pump gears. So I might actually show you guys tonight how to replace them gears and the backing plate, so that way tomorrow we can assemble the whole engine. Alrighty guys, just to wrap up the day, we've done everything we said we're going to do. The engine's basically down, we've got the piston out. It does have the thicker rods, so I'm just going to do this oil pump gear replacement. Tools you're going to need, probably a screwdriver, hammer. One of these is a very nifty tool. It's obviously stick your bit in. When you hit it with the hammer, it actually twists as well when you hit it down. These are very prone to stripping, so we'll see how we go. Once again, thanks to Michael at Dominator Motorsports, he's really hooked us up. Billet oil pump gears, billet backing plate. Good dude, always got everything in stock, fairly priced. Yeah, hooked us right up on this one, but let's do this oil pump. And then we might wrap up this episode. And yeah, I'll get on to the finish cleaning and setting everything up for the reassembly, which will be the next video. So far, good. That's one. Not that lucky. These can be a real pain. Honestly, guys, without one of these tools, you're probably going to be up shit creek. Because, yeah. Obviously, being the oil pump, they're super tight. Ouch. And that's it. We're down to the last one. You must have one of these tools, guys. It's never going to happen without it. But it actually went quite smoothly, thank God. See, we're on camera and everyone's watching. So we will expose the oil pump gears in a second. When you're running high boost, or you're sort of pushing up into the sort of mid to high teens even on a Barra engine, the oil pump gears are prone to cracking and breaking. And as we all know, no oil pump, basically no oil pump gears, no oil pressure into the engine, no engine. Alrighty, so we've got that off now. And there is your factory oil pump gears, which I will get out in a sec. There we go. That's just how they work. They sort of roll around on each other. And that's your oil pump. There's actually, yeah, they're a bit worn, but they're not too bad. But yeah, we will not be using those again. As if I have my way, I will be pushing Michael to run boost into high teens at least. So, as you can see, it needs a bit of a clean. I might slip that to Michael. He's over at the parts washer at the minute. There's a little bit of wear. You can sort of see where it wears on the backing plate. Hence up also upgrading the backing plate. That's not too bad. Don't think there would have been any issues just yet. I might just push pause on the camera. I'll whip this over to the parts washer, give that a good wash, and I'll be back in a sec. And we'll start assembly. Right, guys, I'm back. Here's our freshly cleaned oil pump, and also have some engine assembly lube, which is a must. You can't put an oil pump back together dry. It is not a very good idea at all. Although we will prime. Got myself a blade. Yeah, although we will prime, yeah, it's good to have some pre-lube in there. Alrighty, let's get these gears happening. Alrighty. God, I love performance parts. Alrighty. Nice. Yes, they've already got some sort of lube on there, but alrighty, you can see. Sorry guys, just thinking as I go. You can see these little dots here. There's one on the outer ring and on the inner ring. There's also the same on the factory oil pump gears. They will face out. They'll face towards the backing plate. I'm just showing you this, guys. It's pretty straightforward, but again, for someone that might be interested in tackling this job themselves, like I said before, it's definitely possible. It's not rocket science. There's plenty of information on the internet. YouTube's a great example, especially with the Barra engine. There's a lot of guys out there doing Barra builds at the moment for obvious reasons. Cool engine, a little bit on the cheaper side, not as cheap as some people think, but it's good, reasonably reliable power. So I might just put a bit of assembly lube on here. Just want to put it on any surface where there's going to be a fresh startup happening. There seems to be some sort of assembly lube or oil, etc. on the oil pump gears, but yeah, a little bit of extra safety never hurt. Get some in there. Alrighty, we'll slip these oil pump gears in. There you go. Awesome bit of gear. Be lying if I said me and Michael were starting to get excited. We're sort of at the stage where we've got everything organised with the car, and stuff like engines and stuff are going to be assembled in the coming days. The engine bay's painted. I'll show you guys that before I say goodbye for this episode. But look, it's not perfect. It's definitely a garage job. It's a rattle can job, but we put in a bit of effort. Did the best we could. There's obviously got some dust and stuff in it, but compared to what it was, I mean, it's a good, cheap restoration. You guys will see that. Now, and when the car's finished, it'll be a massive difference. It's just a little bit of wank factor, you know, it doesn't hurt. Why not? And there's our billet backing plate from Dominator. Quality bit of gear, quite light. Obviously billet aluminium. But yeah, it's been all hardened and stuff like that. I was having a chat with Michael and he said all the gears are hardened to a certain tolerance and backing plates, etc. Okay, so we will go that away. Actually, I'll just put it there. I'm just going to pump some assembly lube in here, guys, just to give it a bit of thing. I don't know if everyone would do it, but again, I can't really see it hurting. I'm going to mix it in with a bit of the lube that was already on the gears. Can't hurt. Alright, we've got plenty on there. And I've just lost my lid, but I'll worry about that in a sec. They are quite an easy engine to work on, the Barra. Fords always have been, even when I was doing my apprenticeship sort of 20 years ago. I would love to see a Ford engine come in. It meant it was going to be a pretty easy day, really. A lot of blown head gaskets and stuff like that, but yeah, quite easy to work on. I think that's why they're so popular. How's that? My wife's just calling me out. I'm getting pizza for dinner.
No.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
We'll sit that back down. There was no sealant or anything on the factory backing plate, so I'm not going to run it on this. I don't think it'll matter too much. I might actually just pause for 1 second. I am going to run some Loctite on the screws. Maybe just Loctite blue, just for a little bit of extra security. Again, it can't hurt. A little bit of blue. I don't know if I'd go as far as red. We do plan on running some big boost, so I feel like this will not be the last time I dismantle this oil pump, but we will put a bit of blue on. Why not? Michael just chuckled in the background, hoping this car goes together once and never comes apart, but I can be a bit of a bad influence at times. I do plan on doing some events with this car, maybe power cruises and stuff like that. Trip up to Summernats. We go to Summernats most years. Basically get out there and do some skids. Got a few cars in the pipeline at the minute that I'm We've got some ideas coming for the channel. Some projects coming for the channel, I should say, sorry. We've got a few ideas. I'm searching for some cars at the minute. I may have just found one. So we do have some exciting things coming. Once we get past this Barra build. There is a massive Commodore car show coming soon. What's it called, Michael?
All Commodore Day.
All Commodore Day, ran by Early Commodore Community Car Club. It's yeah, it's going to be a massive show. So that's in about 3 months' time. What's the date?
October 11.
October 11. So I hope we can have this car finished by then. It shouldn't be an issue. Just depends how busy I get it in my shop, Garage Built Customs. As we can only do this sort of in spare time. My hands are a bit slippery. I got lube and stuff all over them. Alrighty, get the gist. I'll give my hands a scrub and tighten these up a bit more. But it's literally that simple, guys. Dominator Motorsports upgraded billet gears, basically done. That's your assembled oil pump. Yeah, she's basically good to go. Again, it sounds like a, bit of a daunting job, changing out your oil pump gears, etc. But as you can see, it's literally that easy. Great product from Dominator. Oil pump gears done. Alrighty, I'll wash my hands up, tighten these up, and that's everything finished. I'm not going to bore you with washing parts and stuff for the night. We're pretty much done. I will wrap this up. Just grab this camera. Alrighty, so that's basically us for the weekend, guys. We're out of time. That'll be the end of this episode. Yeah, you've watched it, so you basically know what we got done. The engine bay is painted. Engine's disassembled. We'll finish cleaning up all the parts. Hopefully I can start assembly tomorrow. We'll see how we go. I'll give you a look at the engine bay. Just come up quite nice. Again, not perfect, but you know, from what it was, rattle can paint job. I'll make sure it looks pretty for Michael once everything goes back in. So yeah, there's your engine and all your parts. We'll get everything cleaned, painted, looking pretty. And that's us, guys. Once again, thanks to Dominator Motorsports for sponsoring the last couple of episodes and sponsoring us with some parts. Check out the link below, Dominator Motorsports Australia. Yeah, check them out. Good parts, good quality parts, cheap price. Michael's a legend. End of the episode, guys. We're kicking ass. We'll see you next time. See you guys. Oh, and remember to follow your dreams. Surround yourself with good people. Follow your dreams. Keep yourself happy. Keep a smile on that face. See you guys in the next episode.